If you haven't had a chance to see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, go ahead and press pause because there will be plenty of spoilers. The movie answered a lot of questions for fans, but one of the most important ones still remains. Namely, did Emperor Palpatine have a love life when he wasn't busy conquering the galaxy? He may be a monstrous evil being bent on galactic domination, but apparently some women are into that kind of thing. Let's take a look at the lineage of Sheev Palpatine, who has a family tree that can best be described as complicated. I know it's hard to imagine a Star Wars universe without Palpatine lurking in the shadows and pulling those strings, but he didn't leap into existence as a fully formed old man. As hard as it is to imagine, he was a child once, and he has a family tree. Although he did his best to absolutely demolish it as an adult, Palpatine's history is pretty complicated, but making it all the more complex are the discrepancies between the canon and non-canon material. In the canon Star Wars universe, we know that a precocious Sheev Palpatine was born to an influential family on Naboo, but he didn't really like talking about his background. Even his age is just an estimation, with most people guessing that he was born in approximately 84 BBY, or before the Battle of Yavin. According to Tarkin, a canon novel, he was born 65 years before the events of Revenge of the Sith. Since The Rise of Skywalker takes place in 35 ABY, or after the Battle of Yavin, he was about 119 years old the last time he was on the big screen. Whatever biological family he had seemed to be a little concerned to him, as he instead surrounded himself with less than upstanding citizens, including Darth Plagueis, who took him on as his apprentice. Like many father figures, Plagueis encouraged his ward to follow his dreams, and in this case, those dreams involved infiltrating the Galactic Senate while plotting to take over the galaxy. But in non-canon lore, there are way more details about Palpatine's home life, but they're not particularly cheerful ones. His father was Kosinga Palpatine, a man with a violent temper. The Palpatine family was one of the royal houses of Naboo, yet little is known about their backstory, even in non-canon content. Kosinga claims that his grandfather, the great-great-grandfather of Emperor Palpatine, learned that the Gungan War on Naboo had been set up by House T'Polo and House Varuna, and he was not happy about it. Kosinga's poor wife isn't even mentioned by name, and her oldest son Sheev described her as weak-willed and said she was forced to act subserviently to her overbearing husband. She and Kosinga had other non-Sith children too, additional sons and daughters. Unfortunately, not much is known about them. Apparently, the eldest child, Palpatine, didn't get along with his siblings to say the least, and there was no love lost between them. They resented Sheev, while he mocked their lack of ambition and satisfaction with the status quo. Kosinga couldn't control his eldest son like he could the rest of the family, and this put them at odds with each other. In 65 BBY, Kosinga found himself up against Bon T'Polo, the son of the man who defeated his grandfather in a duel. He opposed T'Polo's candidacy for monarch of Naboo, and while he claimed to dislike his politics, Palpatine believed this was a personal vendetta, so he worked against his father by supplying information to T'Polo's campaign, which attracted the attention of Darth Plagueis, who was impressed by Palpatine's ingenuity and willingness to hurt his own family. This came into play later when Palpatine's Force powers emerged, and he destroyed his entire family, an incident which was covered up by his master, Darth Plagueis. Palpatine himself was never married in any canon or non-canon story. Considering his family life and the Sith tradition of apprentices taking out their own masters, this is hardly surprising. At best, there were rumors that Palpatine had fathered children, including a man named Irek Ismarin. His mother, Roganda Ismarin, was known to dally with Palpatine. She encouraged the rumors, whether or not they were true, because she hoped they would help her son's own political career. But since Irek was later decked out with cybernetic enhancements and possessed incredible powers, he doesn't seem to match up with what we've seen of Rey's father. He clearly wanted nothing to do with the Empire and would rather work as a junk trader on Jakku. So who is Rey's father and Palpatine's son? Well, nobody really knows exactly, but there are some theories. Rey was born in 15 ABY, or 11 years after Darth Vader yeeted Palpatine during Return of the Jedi. Rey's father could have been the result of a tryst between Palpatine and someone else, or there could be another explanation. In the Darth Vader comics, Palpatine is the one who set into motion the midichlorians that impregnated Shmi Skywalker, the mother of Anakin Skywalker. Palpatine also clearly has the resources to create clones and all kinds of fancy advanced tech, so it's entirely possible that his son was the result of some kind of experiment. And considering that the Emperor's body was damaged during Revenge of the Sith, this actually seems like a very real possibility, but maybe they'll explore that in the next Star Wars movie. Defeating the forces of evil isn't easy, but staying up to date with the latest from CBR definitely is. The YouTube algorithm is almost as complicated as Palpatine's family tree. But there's a way around that. Just click on that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, either from right here or in the settings menu if you're on your phone. So, what do you think about the Palpatine family tree? Are you a fan of leaving it ambiguous in the canon universe, or are you hoping some of the expanded universe lore gets incorporated back in? I'm personally a huge fan of the Plagueis book. It's just great. Either way, let us know what you think in the comments section, and then click on that subscribe button for more videos from us here at CBR. Bye for now.